This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by our friends over at Dipstick Vapes, makers of the innovative Dipper Vaporizer, which you can now get for the insanely low price of $114.99, which you can shop an additional 15% off of by using the discount code MJToday. Don't delay one more day. Just open up dipstickvapes.com and read up on your next vaporizer. The Dipper has all the functionalities of a pack-and-go vape pen, but can also be converted with just a quick swap of the ceramic tip into what can best be described as some kind of magic vape straw, which lets you hoover up concentrates directly as if you were some kind of cannabis hummingbird. Become the envy of all your cannabis-consuming pals by opening up dipstickvapes.com and using the discount code MJToday to not only save yourself 15% off the even lower price of the Dipper, but to also generate a donation in the amount that you saved to our friends over at Students for Sensible Drug Policy. That's dipstickvapes.com, discount code MJToday, all one word. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Monday, July 23rd, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 533 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Hemp Industry Daily leads off today with a good story looking at the initial reaction out of California of a recently announced change to the state's laws that bans the use of CBD oil in any food, candy, drink, or other consumable, even if the CBD was derived from industrial hemp. I picked up on this one last week as a quiet announcement was made at the beginning of July of the rule change in the form of a posted Q&A on the website of the California Department of Public Health. The sudden and unexpected change in how CBD is treated in California is causing a lot of industry consternation, with a number of cases highlighted in Hemp Industry Daily's story of entrepreneurs who currently have CBD-rich plants under cultivation that they will not be able to sell within the state. This is a big developing issue with potentially significant repercussions for legal hemp, so I'd suggest swinging over and giving this one a full dive in. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. We swing over to New Jersey for our second headline, where late last week, the city of Jersey City announced that it would effectively decriminalize the possession of small amounts of marijuana, only to be told just hours later by the Office of the State Attorney General that no, it would not be. On Friday, Jersey City Mayor Steve Fulop issued a directive to city prosecutors to, quote, use their discretion in deciding which cases to pursue, unquote, in terms of cannabis. Hours later, State Attorney General Gurbir Grewal sent a letter to Jersey City's chief prosecutor calling the mayor's directive void, stating that their duties are, quote, to ensure the uniform and proper administration of justice in this state, unquote. In response, the mayor tweeted that he and his chief prosecutor, quote, unquote, don't agree with the attorney general's decision. Wrapping up our top headlines today is a story in the Burlington Free Press about delivery services that have popped up in Vermont built around the model of giving marijuana away for free but charging for delivery. This so-called gifting model exists because a number of states have chosen to make cannabis legal to grow, possess, use, and share, but not yet to sell. As a result, in states like Massachusetts and here in Maine, you can buy a nice glass jar for $40 or $50 that someone will deliver to you full of an eighth of cannabis. Vermont is now seeing the same issue with two businesses highlighted in the Free Press story, which I'd pop over for a read. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Dipstick Vapes, makers of the innovative Dipper Vaporizer, which functions as both a traditional pack-and-go vape pen as well as something of a magic vape straw, which lets you consume concentrates directly, saving you the need for a blowtorch and butane. It's a perfect vape pen for every discerning cannabis consumer to have in their consumption toolbox, which is why it's also the perfect thing to carry on your dispensary or shop's shelves. The Dipper will fly out your door as your customers learn about all the flexible ways it allows them to partake. You can open up dipstickvapes.com and hit their wholesalers page to learn more about how you can sell the Dipper in your shop. You'll be glad you did. And remember, if you just want to buy a dipper for yourself, you just need to open up dipstickvapes.com and use the discount code MJ today. Big thanks to everyone over at Dipstick Vapes for the support that makes today's news possible. All right, time for the Blitz. Hopping over the Atlantic Ocean to England for a headline, we have an update on the story of young Billy Caldwell, the 12-year-old boy living with epilepsy who's been at the center of a significant storyline involving him and his mother Charlotte and their fight against the British government for the right to properly treat Billy's condition with CBD oil. The newest angle on this one is a plea from Ms. Caldwell to be able to keep at home and administer CBD oil to Billy herself. Right now, Billy is only able to take the CBD oil that cuts down on the number of seizures he experiences from government nurses who visit his home twice per day. That means it's not really possible for the Caldwells to leave their home for any extended period of time. Last week, 2 Massachusetts state lawmakers sent a letter to the Cannabis Control Commission expressing concerns about a widespread practice in the state where towns and cities force prospective cannabis businesses to hand over a certain percentage of their sales in exchange for permission to open. Cannabis businesses in the Bay State must secure so-called community host agreements in the areas they are to be located, which has given those towns and cities leverage from which they've extracted agreements to take significant cuts of all sales from hosted dispensaries. Democratic State Senator Patricia Jalen and Representative Mark Cusack said in a letter to the commission that the fees are making it hard for the industry to get started. The Cannabis Control Commission will meet to discuss guidance documents it's developing on the practice of community host agreements on July 26th. Sticking to the Bay State for a story, we have a headline that actually nicely ties up with our previous story. Last week, the nonprofit organization, the Massachusetts Taxpayers Foundation, said that the slow rollout of Massachusetts adult use marijuana will mean that state coffers are unlikely to receive the full $63 million in cannabis taxes they estimated for this year. A Canadian marijuana company just announced that it is taking a loan of $35 million Canadian from a First Nations group to fund the rollout of a chain of legal cannabis dispensaries. National Access Cannabis Corporation will use the loan from the Opaskwayak Cree Nation to build 50 to 70 dispensaries across Western Canada next year. Our buddy Tom Angel over at Marijuana Moments picked up on a political ad in Tennessee being run by a Republican candidate for Speaker of the House, which shows a clip of Dictator Trump making a statement of support for legal medical marijuana. Republican Beth Harwell wants to be the next Speaker of the Tennessee House and is very excited to announce that she is pro-medical cannabis and used a clip from 2015 of Trump saying that he thought medical marijuana, quote unquote, should happen. Ms. Harwell apparently has no problem with the fact that Trump is a known sexual predator and misogynist pussy grabber who stands accused of raping his first wife and has made a number of comments about how hot he thinks his daughter is. And then there's the whole issue of being owned outright by Vladimir Putin. But hey, one time he said he likes medical cannabis, so let's make an ad. Best of luck with that. Pop over to Marijuana Moment for the full story. MG Retailer threw together a list of what it calls the largest legal marijuana grow operations in the U.S. that's worthy of a swing over. Leading off the list is a California farm that claims to have just under 1.5 million square feet of space under cultivation. Los Sueños Farms is located in Pueblo, California, and does most of its growing out under the sun. This is another one I'd open up, if only to get yourself better acquainted with some of the larger scale operations going on here in the States. And finally for today, we wrap on a story about a 112,000 square foot marijuana dispensary that's set to open up near the Las Vegas Strip in Nevada in November. When fully built out, the planned Planet 13 dispensary will be a complex of buildings housing marijuana retail space, as well as a beer brewery and restaurant. Right now, Nevada law does not allow for public consumption, so until that changes, Planet 13 customers will be unable to indulge on site. The new facility is located right off the Las Vegas Strip at the intersection of Desert Inn and Sammy Davis Jr. Boulevard. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Which dinosaur was very particular about taking care of its teeth? The Velociraptor. Thanks to our sponsor, Dipstick Vapes, and to all of our awesome Patreon listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the listeners' ranks of the Patreon listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in, starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.